So 2024 just got finished and we just entered the new year 2025 and it's been an amazing year. And 2024 left us with a lot of lessons and I want to talk about the lessons we learned from 2024 heading to 2025. So actually, I've done a Substack, complete Substack, my newsletter. I've written everything down. You have to subscribe and you have to, you can go there and get everything. And this video is just going to be a video of a run through. I'm just going through points. I might properly do a proper video later on. And firstly, one of the first and most important one is, you can always learn something from someone. That's very, very important because most people don't realize that you can't do it, which is actually another very interesting. It's another point, but most people don't realize that you can always learn something from someone, and you might be going through a journey and somebody tells you, no, that journey isn't the right journey to take and you should maybe go the other way around, or you should maybe do something different, and you refuse because you are arrogant and you go and fall in the trap of the enemy, which is one of the most important ones to really take note of. You can always learn something from someone. I'm not even saying it based on myself. I'm not even saying it so that you should listen to me. I'm saying it because it is very, very important. You can really always learn. There's always something someone can teach you. I don't care who that person is. In fact, the scenario I want to talk about in this video is because I've known people who are doing genuinely very bad things. Like, I know people who are criminals. They actually do very, very bad things. But the way they act in the presence of elders, the way they act in the presence of parents, I've seen it myself and I see how they act in the presence of parents, and I was like, that's very, very inspiring for you to be a genuine criminal, a genuine malicious malintended being in society and still be very respectful to your elders. And it teaches you a lot. Like, you can always really learn and something. You can always learn something from somebody, and I mean in the most positive way. Secondly, this one is very important because it carries to the first, and it's actually really very important because most people, especially people like me, wouldn't. It takes so much time to really learn this one, and it's very, very important. It is very important that people realize that you can't do it all on your own. It's very, very important you realize you can't do it all on your own. Most people fail to understand this one, and that's the reason they face so many difficulties in life. Like, they try to do it all on their own. You can always have help. In fact, you should always seek help. You might not even have it, yes, but you should at least seek the help and not get it. So it's very, very important you realize that help is very important on whatever you're doing. I don't really like. It's very, very important you always seek help. At least seek it. Even if you don't get it, at least you seek it, which is very, very important. That's a very important point because people like me, and some of us are arrogant, not in a negative way. I'm saying in a very positive way. We are just arrogant because people like me will be like, they'll tell me, you will need help, and I'll be like, nah, I don't need help. I'm like, everybody that has gone through that journey needed help, and you're like, nah, I don't need help, I'm different, and you go fall into the same traps. And I'm not really saying it like I've fallen into so many traps, but I've fallen into a few, and it's genuinely something very important to know from. It's very important to know that you always need help. In fact, you should always get help. It is even better to get help, try to get help and not have the help, than not to even try to get help at all, even on the very simple things. You will do it a lot faster, you will learn a lot better and everything. So it's just better to always seek help and always at least have someone by your side who has done what you want to do, or who is about to do, or you guys are about to do it together. Is very, very important. Always seek help. Number 3, this one is particular to almost anybody who wants to achieve great things in life, is that consistency beats almost every other thing. You can choose to be an extraordinary person 3 days a week, sometimes 2 days a week, and you wouldn't be able to equal a person who is consistent every single day and does the work he has to do. It's very important most people realize. This is something I've learned from my own experience. I myself, I'm saying it right now, and I'm not even consistent myself. So it's very important you realize how. In fact, I hope you do. I'm not just saying it. I hope you do realize it is super important to understand that consistency is one of the most important things. It's very, very important to be consistent in the world today because it's consistency that's going to make you to achieve great things. Not waking up 2 days a week and being super hyped up, being super energetic, being super motivated and working for those 2 days, then the rest of the week you're sloppy, you're slow. Like, you have to be consistent, and consistency is not just maybe working every single day or working maybe it's 5 days a week or 6 days a week. Consistency is in many things. Consistency is in maybe the way you behave, the way you act. You should act in a certain way. You should have a very you should have a consistent behavior. It's genuinely it. There's nothing that beats consistency. It builds your reputation, it builds your character, it builds every single thing you want to do in life. Be very cautious because consistency is the most important thing. The other one is, which this one is very particularly pertinent because most people fail to understand how important it is. It's very important that you realize, actually this part I'm going to keep it for the next part. This video I was just making it because I told myself, in fact, you guys are going to see the time I'm recording this video. I told myself I have to do it. I have to do it right now because I've been keeping it for a long time. The year has already begun. So much is going on. I might likely not even do it anytime at all. So I had to do at least this part, or at least a few parts. So this video I might do it completely, or a whole, like might redo it completely, or I might just complete this part, complete the remaining, the about 10 to 11 points left, 10 to 11 important things I learned in 2024 that just passed. And I'm going to do that part. I'm going to do the second part, and I'm going to make it public, and I'm going to I'll put a link to the Substack below for the people that want to read the newsletter and really see what I wrote, and really I detailed everything that was very, very important. If you can read what I wrote, and you will learn so much from what I am actually saying. This is from personal experience. Nothing is AI. No. This is absolute personal experience. You're going to tell you will genuinely, you will save you hours. I can promise you can save you hours, it can save you days, it can save you weeks, it can save you years. Just know the life lessons. If you can just know the life lessons I've gone through, that this is something I've gone through, and you can actually learn from them. Like, because this is one of the most important things, is to understand that experience is one of the most important things in life. Like, experience is genuinely one of the most important things. It is one of the biggest curses in life, is to go through life either two ways. Firstly, you either go through life and gain experience. You are experienced, but you learn nothing from your experience. Like, you have experience, you've gone through life, you've been through many things, and you've gone through so many things, but actually what lessons do you have from there? It's very important. You can be able to grasp some lessons, or maybe from the failures you've done, even from the success. There are lessons even from success, and it's very important. Most people don't know these things. There are lessons even from success, and you can always take the lesson from success and apply to your life. Try to keep lessons, try to save lessons. You can always do videos like this. It's very, very free. What I'm doing right now is very, very free. I'm doing it on my cell phone, which anybody can do. And secondly, it's very important you realize that only your life lessons, if you learn only from your own experience, it's going to take you a lot of pain and distraught and a very, very, very ugly life to learn every single day, because there's so much to learn about life, and you need people, just like I was talking about, the fact that you can't do it all on your own. And secondly, there's always something you can learn from someone. It's very, very important you do realize, if it's only from through your own experience that you want to go and see if there is an ending road, if the road is an ending road, or it's a block road, or whatever, or it has a slope in it. You only go there and fall into the deep hole before you realize that the road wasn't actually a road that you're supposed to go on, why somebody had already warned you before. So these very two important things that you should realize about experience are the two important things that hold people back. Either you're not learning from your experience, or you're not learning from the experience of others, which you can just combine the two. Like, you can actually intertwine. It's not like you must do one or the other, and most people do none at all. So really, that was it. And maybe if I just have to give a last quote, I'll maybe probably give this one. This a last lesson. I'll probably give this one, because this is a lesson too from inside the newsletter, and it's really, everything is really deeper. It's deeper than you think. And this one is a little bit deep, because from the surface, in fact, what I really wrote was, from the surface, the whole is deeper than you think, right? Most people see things from the surface. You see maybe a billionaire. Let me give you just a very basic example. You see billionaires, they tell you this guy Elon Musk is the richest guy in the world. Elon Musk is the richest in the world. Jeff Bezos is second. Like, whatever they give you numbers, and then like, you're like, how do they apply those numbers to things? And truthfully, you don't understand. You have a very simple answer, but you can't have any complicated answer. That's one way to think about it. But another way to think about this point of is deeper than you think is, you see people do certain businesses and it's like, it looks easy, or you see people do certain things and it looks very easy. But if you start doing it yourself, you start to realize there are so many intricacies to it, so many details you have to take into consideration to actually do it as good as them, which is something people fail to realize. This is I'm also saying it from personal experience myself. The business I actually entered in thinking it was going to be very, very easy, but it turns out to be one of the hardest things I've done in my life. I'm saying it, I'm like, still yet right now, it's one of the hardest things I've done in my life, but sometimes you really have no other options. And that's really it. Actually, as I was saying in the newsletter version, you're going to understand that these episodes are supposed to be recorded for the podcast, but the podcast I haven't even yet started it, and I'm going to start it anytime soon. I was just saying, and cheering up. So if you can just cheer me up, I'll be very, 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 very glad. Like, cheer me up. Surely it's going to push me, it's going to support me, it's going to motivate me to begin the podcast anytime soon. Actually, yeah, I still need to like I still need some time. I need some preparations to get ready for it. But I mean, I'm starting the podcast soon. And secondly, I'll probably post the second part of this video anytime soon. But actually, I really had to make this one, so this is why I'm ending it right here.